final draw has come and gone, and Shaka Hislop is joining me as we go in depth on each fixture, because there are some nice ones, Shaka. So let's have a look at them. Some might feel hard done, others not so much. Ajax, they have another mountain to tackle, that is Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus. Liverpool fans might be quite thankful that they've gotten Porto. All due respect to Porto, of course. Then it's an all-Premier League showdown between Tottenham and Manchester City, and then Manchester United, who, again, another big task ahead of them with the Catalan Giants, that is Barcelona. So, Shaka, I'm going to let you choose which one we want to dive into first. Which one just jumps off the page at you first?
Well, let's just go from the top, because it's easier.
Easy way out.
Ajax against Juventus. Ajax playing with house money. Nobody expected Ajax to get the better of Real Madrid. Yet what we saw from them at the Bernabeu kind of made you take a step back and realize that Ajax are far better than many would suggest, or recent history would suggest. Now, you take your foot off the gas, so you become complacent, and they certainly have the talent. Nobody was better than Dusan Tadic in that leg at the Bernabeu. And they can hurt you. And they are free, and they know when you at this stage of the competition, when nothing's expected of you, when you're playing with house money, when you've already overachieved, that's a difficult opponent.
Where do you see them being able to hurt Juventus, though? Because even in the last game, we saw some great performances, especially from Bernardeschi, but we saw the memes come out and it said, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo was the main man, 3 instead of Juventus. So where can Ajax capitalize on that?
Well, by just playing a very free and open game of football. If somehow you manage to stifle Cristiano Ronaldo and the service into him, as Atletico did in the first leg, now keep in mind, Ajax and Atletico couldn't be any further apart in terms of their approach or style. Maybe you get something out of this, maybe you get something out of that rear guard of Juventus, who, again, are an aging rear guard, but continue to be as good as ever. Now, pound for pound, this is only ever going to finish one way, but again, you sleep on teams like Ajax at your absolute peril.
All right, so we did just do our predictor, but your pick definitely would be Juventus to go through.
But yeah, no, listen, my serious pick in this is Juventus, without question. I would love to see Ajax somehow get the better of another European giant, but you just don't see that kind of fairy tale happening twice in the same season.
All right, moving on. For those of us who are close to the Premier League, like you and myself, we definitely are looking forward to this matchup. Spurs against Manchester City.
Yeah, and this is an interesting one. Spurs domestically trending in the wrong direction, but slowly but surely players are coming back and coming back fit.
And they seem to surprise people in the Champions League.
They certainly have, and they're still a little bit inconsistent. They can be great in one day, and then other times they look very leggy, and as though anybody, certainly in the Premier League, can get the better of them. Again, pound for pound, City, better team, better squad. I think there are a couple of issues for City here to avoid. Injuries to key players themselves. Fernandinho, who continues to be simply outstanding. What kind of role is he going to play in the next few weeks and on to the end of the season? And I also think that as good a start as Gabriel Jesus had in his Manchester City career, right now he's not a replacement for Kun Aguero. And Kun Aguero has shown that he is injury prone. He has been far more consistent and avoided injuries a lot more this season. But if somehow he's not available, that levels the playing field a whole lot in Spurs' favour, more so than I think a lot of people are recognizing.
People spoke about it a little bit with Cristiano Ronaldo up against Atletico Madrid, that there's something that you can take from the familiarity of that foe. Is there anything that Spurs can take to their advantage in the fact that they know City through and through?
Well, I don't think knowing City kind of helps you when it's good.
So forget it.
If there's some way, if there is some weakness you could pick on, and maybe you've been able to identify, recognize, and exploit in the past, you can say, yes, we will do this again. But not too many domestically have been able to do that. And I'm not sure, again, that this is a draw that Spurs wanted. But on a knife edge, all things being even as we sit right now, I think City go through.
Liverpool-Porto, is that as clear-cut for you as well?
Yeah, I think this is a draw that Liverpool certainly would have wanted, given recent history between these two, which leans heavily in Liverpool's favour. I think that plays into this psychologically for both Liverpool and Porto.
No title race distraction for Liverpool?
No. I think when you're at a club like Liverpool, when you've got a squad and the players like Jurgen Klopp has accumulated here, you want to be competing at every single level. That changes nothing for me.
And finally, let's just get to it. Manchester United, Barcelona. Shaka, we've seen the SPI saying that United have a 2% chance of going through. Do you see it closer than that, given what happened with PSG?
Well, you never know. And again, lessons learned. As with Juventus, lessons learned from the previous round. Never mind the differences in assumed quality between the two. Never mind the differences in league positions between the two. You sleep on your opponent in this competition at your absolute peril. PSG found that out. I mentioned Real Madrid previously. Certainly Barcelona, you don't expect them to do that. The one thing in United's favour is Barcelona continues to not travel that well in the Premier League. The one big thing in Barcelona's favour is they can still call on Lionel Messi. And outside of Juventus, I'm not sure who can call on stars of that ilk.
That is a very big thing that Barcelona can call on. Thank you so much to Shaka Hissap. We are waiting on bated breath for all of these matchups coming this April.